Whew, guys, that was a rough one. That was ugly. That was ugly football. I mean, two mid-table teams right there. I mean, you got 11th place Chelsea versus 8th place Liverpool. Managed to somehow, slug it out. A boring, a dry, goalless draw. I mean, both teams deserved absolutely f all from this game, and that's pretty much I guess what we all got is what we all deserved, which was 1 point each, goalless draw in effectively what was a glorified friendly that was dressed up as a Premier League game. Guys, welcome back to the channel. Your Chelsea Godfather reporting back to duty. Jokes aside, guys. Yeah, we saw what had happened. Today's game is the first game in the regime of Bruno Salter, and expectedly he had the boys uh, displayed out there in a 3-5-2, basically a five-man defensive back line, which was pretty much good. I mean, they actually one of the few things that where we played well was the offensively our center backs in Fofana, Koulibaly, and Kukurea. They all played well, as did Chilwell and James at wing backs. So then he also had three central mid fielders in Enzo Kante and uh, Kovacic. Um, Obviously, like you all saw Kante and you saw what the team has been missing from Kante. I mean, he only played, I believe, 67 minutes, but I mean, Kante was playing like Kante. Kante was playing like Kante. I mean, you already know Kante only has one gearbox, and that one gear is at 100 miles an hour every time while covering every blade of grass. So for me, that was the best thing that came out of this game as a Chelsea fan. Given the fact that, as I've been mentioning, we're not going up, we're not going down. All we have left to play for is the Real Madrid game, and so it's about getting our uh, important players, especially the players that are coming back from uh, injury spells. Players like Kante, players like James, like even like Chilwell, Raheem. Getting these players up to speed. Even Wesley, Fofana. Trying to get these guys meaningful minutes, get them to stretch their legs, run hard, but not don't run too hard where you're gonna pop something before the all important Real Madrid fixture. So from that point of view, the fact that that Bruno Salto was able to execute this game, um, get Kante to play a meaningful 67 minutes in the game, for which I'm sure everybody who watched that game saw that Kante was the best player on the pitch on both sides. Period. So I mean that's what it is. It's no a big deal because that's Kante. I mean when he's flying, he's flying, and that's there's nothing anybody can do about that. And so The fact the game ended goalless wasn't for, in fairness to our boys, it wasn't for lack of trying. I mean, it's pretty much the old issues rearing their ugly head again. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about woeful finishing in the box. Woeful finishing in the box pretty much bit us. And specifically with respect to um, Joe, Felix, I believe, was it Kante that had put him through on goal? I believe it was Kante, like around the 20th minute or so in the first half. Felix, guy, I mean, you've done everything, dude. You have pretty much destroyed the entire Liverpool back line. The goalie came out and just like, I mean, I just started having flashbacks of Hazard, of Eden Hazard. You then switch the ball from your right foot to your left foot. Had even Eden Hazard on in his prime, you all already know it was gonna be Trigger. He's just gonna rip the net with that left foot. It's gonna be no invitation to take a shot. But this is not Hazard. This is Felix. And Felix, for some reason that does not make any sense, with the goalie at his mercy on the ball on his left foot, then decides to switch it back to his right foot. And of course, that obviously he didn't have that time. He switched it back, then and gave Konate, I believe, was the defender, giving time to cover, and he made the play, and we didn't get any meaningful shot on target. That was just poor. That was just poor. And for me, I mean, I know Felix has a lot of fans, and I'm a Joao Felix fan. But I mean, in terms of the business of football, with regards to, obviously, y'all keep in mind he's not really our player yet. He's on loan, and I know there may or may not be some kind of understanding between Chelsea and Athletic, Madrid. But unless the price is a reasonable price, and I'm talking about reasonable because Chelsea's already paid like a 10 million loan fee, so Chelsea's gonna have to get some kind of credit for that loan fee, right? If when it comes to paying off on transfer fee for a permanent move, you're gonna have Athletic Madrid is gonna have to give Chelsea some kind of credit. If we gave you 10 mil already, then you're probably gonna have to take no more than 40 million or 45 million and make this thing a permanent deal. Anything more than 45 or last 50 million pounds for anything one penny more than 50 for Joao Felix, Chelsea should just walk away. Don't even do it because keep in mind, guys, that we have Christopher Kunku, who's going to be joining the club next season, and he's actually our player. I mean, like we've paid for this player, so and he plays pretty much in the same role and spaces as Felix. So unless there's any crazy price, I mean personally as a Chelsea fan, I've seen enough from Felix to know that I mean, I wouldn't, he's just not worth, having to pay like some kind of crazy 60 or 70 plus million for. No, heck no, right? So it is what it is because Felix has not been clinical in the box. I mean, that's what the description was supposed to be on the package, right? That Felix, if you buy this product, you're gonna get some good finishing in the box. Well, it's not happening. It's not happening, and that then leads me to our own boy, prodigal son, Mason Mount. I mean, guys, we're playing five at the back. If you're playing five at the back, then Mason Mount should be playing. like in terms of a tactically aware and useful mid fielder. Mason Mount, this setup best suits Mason Mount. This setup best suits Mason Mount. When you're playing 4-2-3-1, okay, now there's an issue of okay, where does Mount fit in? But when you're playing 3-4-2-1, Mason Mount can play as one of the two attacking players behind the striker because his role is not necessarily as an attacking midfielder per se. His role is almost as a uh, joker, like as a some sort of a joke. I think in German in German terminology they call it a joker role. In other words, he splits his time in between attacking and the offending off the ball. He's pretty much like a third midfielder. Then when we're on the ball, then he becomes like an attacking player. And you will like, for instance, you all saw the chance that Kovacic missed. Like Mount should had Mount been in that spot, then we probably get at least we're gonna get a shot on target. And so I mean Mount should be seeing playing time. I mean if we're gonna play with three like this sort of 5-3-2, Mount should be one of those three if you want to call it that, because in effect what it does is it gives the manager a tactical flexibility to switch between 5-3-2 and 3-4-2-1. Okay, and that was the genius of Tuchel in identifying how to best make use of Mason Mount's ability to shoot and strike on your target anywhere in and around the box, either with his left or his right foot. So it gives you another like an actual goal scoring option. Because as it is right now, guys, we don't have there's not one single player that's head and shoulders up above any of the other players in terms of being a goal scorer. So I mean I hate to have turned this thing into a sort of Mason Mount rant, but Mount needs to be reintroduced back into this Chelsea lineup, especially before we get to the Real Madrid game, because he's going to need to play a critical role in giving Coach Bruno tactical balance, so we can be tactically balanced offensively and offensively, so that we're not overly sort of more or less the offensively overly balanced on the offensive end and not having enough, right? Because you need at least a little more to just score that one goal in these kind of big games against strong teams. More often than not, at least probably half the time or more, right? There's only like one goal in it. It's either one goal in it or it's a one goal win. So either you're winning 1-0 or you're losing 1-0 or you're winning 2-1 or you're on the wrong end of the 2-1 result. So that's why it's imperative to get the personnel right. One player not being out of a position or out of place in the starting lineup can prove to be costly at the end of the day. And so so that's basically where I was going on with that. So to round up the good news for us, I mean, apart from the fact that we're able to get Kante up to a speed, we got Fofana up to speed. We've seen James and Chilwell get more minutes under their belt at wing back, and then obviously the sort of good news is that there are no injuries today. I mean, it's a goalless draw. We got our 1 point. We're just 1 point away from the magical, 40. Guys, it is, what it is. Right now, we're just trapped in 11th place. Even Aston Villa has flown right far. Aston Villa is currently, Aston Villa that was in 11th place only just, a few days ago, literally. Aston Villa was in 11th place a few days ago, literally, is currently in 7th place. That'll just give you an idea of how just low Chelsea is right now as a football club. So yeah, it's obvious that the spirits of the players I mean, I won't say that their spirits are down, but they're not really excited to be playing these games. And the only game or games that are left to hopefully get the best out of these guys is the Liverpool, sorry, the Real Madrid series, and for better or for worse, that's pretty much where things are. We're gonna have an idea of whatever's left of this season for Chelsea. So guys, yeah, that's pretty much it. How do y'all feel about today's goalless draw against Liverpool? Please like this video, share, and subscribe to my channel. Take care. God bless you all. Peace.